Are you ready to break through any barrier or limiting belief holding you back? Ready to embrace your full potential and achieve your greatest success? Ready to get noticed and become the champion you were born to be? Then buckle up, because you've come to the right place. Greetings and welcome to the Warrior Confidence Hockey Podcast, where we're unleashing champions both on and off the ice and building leaders with integrity, work ethic, and respect. Well, I'm your host, Master Coach Rich Grogan. I'm so grateful and thankful you're here today, and I promise, as always, I'm going to do everything I can to empower you, to ignite your warrior spirit, to help you unleash your inner warrior, to be the leader, hero, mentor, and champion you were born to be. Well, this is episode number 382, and this is our Wednesday Warrior Confidence Wisdom episode, and we titled this, Seizing the Moment, How Champions Recognize and, most importantly, act on opportunities. You know, opportunities, they're everywhere. I mean, they are out there everywhere. We just have to be ready to act and seize that opportunity, seize that moment, capture it, and not let it slip. Maybe I heard that in a song somewhere. Anyway, oftentimes we'll hear people say, he got lucky, or she got lucky, or you got lucky. Well, my definition of luck, and I picked this up from, I'm not sure who, some book I read or a conference I attended, but the definition of luck for successful people is when preparation is met with opportunity. Meaning you've been preparing, you've been working, you've been grinding, been resilient, determined, doing all the things that others refuse to do, that aren't willing to do. You're doing it. You're preparing for that opportunity. And when that opportunity presents itself, you're ready to seize it. You're ready to capture it. You're ready to take what's yours because you've prepared for it. Now, others that aren't preparing, they aren't doing any preparation in the background. They aren't doing a bit to set themselves apart, they're not listening to podcasts, they're not reading books, they're not doing anything to better themselves. Well, guess what? When, not if, but when that opportunity presents itself to them, they're not going to be ready for it. But you are. And then, of course, what are they going to say when you seize that moment, when you are successful, when you are the champion, the hero, the leader, the mentor that you're born to be? They're going to say, oh, you got lucky. Oh, it must be nice. Now, if you're using those words or those phrases like you got lucky or must be nice, delete it from your vocabulary. All those are, well, I'm going to hit with you with the right hook, as I always do. They're weak. That is a limited-minded, scarcity-minded, envious, jealous, weak-minded mindset. Get rid of that garbage. Don't say those things. Instead, scrap that, or instead of saying those, scrap that from your vocabulary and start filling it with what can I do to be ready for that opportunity? What can I do to prepare for that opportunity? And then on the other side, sometimes I'll hear people say, well, what if I do all this preparation, I do all this work, I'm determined, I'm resilient, I do everything you talk about, and my opportunity never presents itself? Then what? Well, there is that chance. However, something about the universe, those that step outside that proverbial round hole, those that get outside that box, those that are willing to stand out and get noticed, willing to do the things that others aren't willing to do, the universe says, you know what? That person's working hard. That person wants it more. I'm going to give it to them because they've earned it. And you're ready to capture that opportunity. Now, just say that all that does not happen. I would still rather be prepared for that opportunity than not. In other words, you don't do anything and you're not prepared, and there that opportunity is, but you got nothing. You haven't prepared for it. So it just slides away. And you might say, well, I'll be ready for the next one. Well, hopefully you are. But my thing is, why don't we prepare right now? And this is Opportunistic October. It's our first episode of the month for October, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And I'll have my daily videos, and we'll be talking about that. And I'm going to play a little what-if game this month. I'm teasing you a little bit. And it's going to be like, what if you prepared for that opportunity? What if for the next 31 days you did something productive, to help move you forward closer to your goal. So I'm going to tease you and kind of tantalize you with the what ifs in order to continue. Last month was Synergy September, to continue pushing you forward. Why? Because, man, the world needs you at your best. Your kids need you at your best. Your spouse needs you at your best. Your team needs you at your best. Now, I know that a lot of kids don't listen to the podcast, but what I'm talking about, I call it the Warrior Confidence Hockey Podcast because I'm coaching 3 different hockey teams down here in Florida. So I'm focusing almost all my energies, everything I'm doing, on that particular niche. Taking all the years, the 40-plus years of being in martial arts, the trips to Korea, the master life coaching certifications I've gotten from the Ziegler family and countless others. Owning a martial arts academy for nearly 30 years, being a PE teacher for 11 years, being an athlete myself for almost 50 years now, taking all that knowledge, all that wisdom, everything I've learned, and then also being transparent on all the mess-ups, screw-ups, and struggles and challenges and failures I've had. I pour that all into these podcasts, all into my daily video blogs, all into my program, the How to Get More Ice Time program. Why? Because I am doing everything I can. My passion and purpose is to be the mentor I always wanted, needed, and prayed for in my life. I want to help you be your very, very best. And some people say, well, what do you get out of it? Well, one, I sell more programs. I get a chance to coach. I've got a one-on-one coaching, group coaching. But the biggest thing I get out of it, man, is fulfillment. To know that I'm utilizing my unique God-given talents, the gift of what I've given, talking. Ever since I was a kid, I was always told, Richie, you talk too much. Richie, stop talking. And I don't know how many sentences I had to write as a kid. I will not talk in class. Richie will not talk in class. Every one of my report cards, Richie talks too much. So that's what I'm doing. Good. And also, I'm hopefully inspiring you to dig deep inside yourself to figure out what your purpose is, what you're put on this planet for. But as I kind of started saying there, I know a lot of teenagers and young athletes don't listen to the podcast, but I encourage you, you find value in this message, share it with them. Why? My whole goal is to help them stand out from the crowd. And what does every hockey player want more than anything? What does every parent want more than anything? For their kid to get more ice time. What every player wants is more ice time, more opportunities, more leadership opportunities. Yeah. And then, of course, that's the same thing with teams and organizations. I mean, if you're a coach of a team or you're an organizational leader, what do you want most? You want players that are respectful, hardworking. They know how to communicate. They know how to lead. Why? Well, it makes your team better. If the teams are better and coordinate with the coaches better, with the parents better, and everybody's working harder and it's more respectful, teams are going to win more games. You win more games, you get more opportunities to win championships. You win more championships, then the organization becomes a place that players and parents want to be a part of. Woo! Kind of see how that works together. That was last month, synchronizing the energies. We're going to keep talking about that because that's a crucial part of everything we do. But this month, as I've said, it's opportunistic, easy for me to say, October. And this episode, Seizing the Moment, how champions recognize and act. And that's the biggest thing. You got to recognize it. And we see, I recognize an opportunity, but what are you going to do about it? You're going to act. You're going to seize the moment. All right. Well, I always like to have an engagement question. And the engagement question is something for you to think about. And I've probably already given you a lot to think about during the episode. And for those that are watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell. And those that are just listening to the podcast, if you want to see me and kind of engage here and drop comments in the comment box, watch it on YouTube. And I'm going to start doing something, and I haven't picked the dates yet. We're going to start doing 2 live streams a month. And those live streams will be an interactive Q&A where you can ask me anything you want. I'll do my best to answer the question to the best of my abilities and hopefully give you some golden nuggets. But it'll be a good chance, kind of a live Q&A interaction during the live stream. And, of course, that'll be airing on YouTube and probably Facebook as well, and maybe a few other social media channels. And I'll let you know in advance when those are going to be. But just know they're going to be coming up, to look for the dates and tune in on the live streams. So anyway, this engagement question is, can you recall a moment when you recognized an opportunity that others didn't? And follow up on that, what allowed you to act when others didn't? So, can you remember a moment when you recognized an opportunity that others may have overlooked or didn't see because you were probably looking for that opportunity? And then what allowed you to act when others didn't? Now, I would like to think what allowed you to act is you have prepared for it, but maybe you have a different answer. So drop it in the comments and let me know. And the beautiful thing about the comments is you engage and stimulate thought from others and by others. So they'll type it in. And what are we doing here? We're collectively working together to help each other get stronger, get better, become better leaders. Because if the world needs anything, it's always needed strong leaders. But now I would have to say more than ever in history, we need better leaders, leaders that lead with integrity, that stand up for what is right. I like to say lead with integrity, both on and off the ice. Same thing with hockey players, right? Well, my whole goal, I want you to be the best hockey player, the best hockey parent, best hockey coach or organization you can be. But more importantly, I want you to be the best human being you can, to be the best spouse, the best mentor and leader. Now, is that easy? Well, if you're willing to stand out, it's easier than ever to stand out from the crowd because so few are willing to do it. And that's a message for teenagers right now. Instead of blindly following along and doing what everybody else is doing, stand out. And that's what my program is all about. It's what this podcast is all about. Being respectful, having the right attitude and work ethic, leading and communicating in a way that others don't. I'm telling you, it's easier than ever. But you got to be willing to do it. Seize those opportunities, capture those moments. All right, well, let's move on to our Warrior Confidence tips, starting with number one. The number one Warrior Confidence tip, and it's what we've been talking about, but you have to be aware of the moment. That moment when that opportunity presents itself. Be aware of it. Be on guard. Be looking for it. So how does this relate to, and I'll talk about things that on the ice, what to look for, but also the same thing applies in the real world. You're looking for that advantage. You're looking on something you can do that others aren't willing to do. So players, I tell them all the time, when you're on the bench, after your shift, before your shift, you're looking at that opposing player. Maybe you're the center, so you're watching that other center on the ice, watching what they're doing, watching how they take face-offs, watching if they back check or not, watching if they're a tendency to pass or to shoot. You're watching all these things. So now you've got your hockey IQ goes up, but now you've got an edge. In other words, on the face-off, if they're always pulling the puck back, you know that's what they're going to do. So you got an edge. And the same thing with wingers, defensemen, and especially goalies. Watch tendencies of players when they come in on breakaways. You're learning, always learning, but you got to be aware of those opportunities. Are they there? Yeah, opportunities are everywhere. But most people aren't aware of them because why? They're too distracted by this thing. Got their head in this thing, the phone. Get your head out of the thing. See what's going on in the world. Now, if you got your head in that thing and you're doing research and you're studying and you're learning, okay. But if you really think about it, we probably waste far more time. And I've been guilty of it too. I'm not pointing fingers by any means. I got to remind myself. And the things I talk about the most, here's a little secret about being a speaker and a coach. And I used to think that, I guess one of the things I'd said when I first kind of started doing all this was with one of my mentors, I said, man, I feel like a hypocrite because I'm talking about the things that I still struggle with. And my coach at that time, which still is Chris Widener, he said, no, those are the things you're working on, but you've accomplished, you've succeeded a few levels. It's almost like, he said, a lot of times when you're teaching a program or teaching from a book, as long as you're one chapter ahead, there's other people that aren't there yet. So you're helping them get to that chapter. Now you have to continuously learn and put in the effort to continue seizing opportunities. But he said, no, that's what makes you unique and genuine and transparent. When people try to be, well, fake and superficial, like they never make mistakes, like they never have any troubles or struggles or problems, or like they got it all figured out, nobody likes to listen to those people because they know it's fake and disingenuous. So be genuine. And that's why I don't edit the podcast. Sometimes you'll hear mess ups and goof ups on the podcast. And part of me says, well, I probably should edit that out. And the other part is, you know what? I am just having a conversation with you. And I'm so grateful that you're taking time out of your busy day to listen. That's why I make my notes, and that's why I prepare and do all those things, because I don't want to waste your time. I want to value your time. But at the same time, I want us just to have a conversation. And when we start, I have those live streams, and that's going to be so powerful because we will be back and forth. You'll ask a question, I'll answer the question, and we'll stay engaged there with the question and answer. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, back to the warrior confidence tips. Number 1, be aware of every moment, and when they appear, capture and seize those moments. Number 2, and kind of gave you a little, I jumped into it already, but number 2 is take initiative. Seize those opportunities that are there. Now, are you going to be nervous? Are you going to be scared? Are you going to be worried? Are you going to be fearful? Yeah, because every opportunity is a new challenge, a new test. But it's those tests, it's those challenges that help us move to that next level, help us separate ourselves from the crowd, help us get noticed. Because most of the time, not most of the time, unfortunately, most people, most of the time, not only do they not seize those opportunities and take advantage of those moments, they're too afraid to move forward and do anything. Why? Well, the list is endless, but the number 1 reason, risk of failure, risk of what others may think. Yeah, and when you step outside that proverbial round hole, you step outside that comfort zone, the box that everybody seems to keep themselves in, you're going to be by yourself. You're going to get noticed, but sometimes you're going to bring unwarranted attention. That's just part of it, man. Don't worry about what other people think. If you're ahead of the pack because you're standing out, don't worry about what they're saying behind you. They're back there for a reason. You keep moving forward, especially teenage athletes. Tell them when you're on the ice, and here's the thing. Before and after practice, have fun with your buddies. That's what playing this game is all about. It's having a good time. But when you're on the ice, work hard. I want you to have fun, enjoy it. It's still a game. But if you want to accomplish your goals of having more ice time, getting put out on a power play, penalty kill, being put out in key game situations, if you want to get a captain C or an assistant captain A, you've got to show the coach that you're willing to stand out from the crowd and do what others aren't willing to do. And the majority of the time, that's just a little better attitude, a little better work ethic. If we're telling you to skate all the way to the line, you're skating all the way to the line. You're not cheating it. You're standing out. You're setting an example. You got your head down. You're grinding. You're working hard. You're winning every puck battle. Each and every practice, you're getting better. Each and every game, you're getting better. Each and every day, you're getting better. That's how you seize opportunities. That's how you capture those moments. That's how you set yourself apart. And that's how you achieve your goals and dreams. And I hear all the time, dude, you make it sound so easy, but life isn't that easy. You're right. Life is not that easy. And I'll never lie to you and say it is. And I'll tell you, it's even harder when you stand out from the crowd, because then you get the critics and the haters, everybody coming at you. Once again, they're behind you. You know, I once heard a saying that the dogs always howl at the moon because the moon is up there. It's the spotlight. It's the thing that's, the beauty, right? Shining the rays down. Dogs howl at the moon. The moon doesn't howl back at the dogs. Why? Because the moon's up here and the dogs are down here. So don't worry about all the haters and critics. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. You'll work toward it. You'll blow that stuff off, the haters, critics, and all the naysayers. But if you don't, you'll find an excuse, and you'll be right back with them. And I gave an example on a podcast, a couple podcasts ago, about one of my, favorite little stories to tell, and that's the crabs in the bucket. You know, and unfortunately, that depicts society as a whole. Crabs are in a bucket. Everybody's there. Everybody wants out. Everybody wants to step out, but yet they're afraid to do what they got to do in order to make to get out of the bucket. And if one little ambitious crab decides he's going to make a crab ladder and get out of that bucket, the other crabs are going to pull him down and say, whoa, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here with us. And that's society. When you try and leave that comfort zone, try and leave the masses, they're not going to want that to happen. And why is that? One, it's scary out there. But two, it's really selfish from others, because they're thinking, well, if you get out there and succeed, that means I could do it too. But I'm just too lazy to do it. Now, nobody would ever say that about themselves, that they're too lazy to do it. But that's the end all be all. That's the truth. Yeah, and they don't want you to succeed. Why? Because it makes them feel bad. Not that your goal is to make anybody feel bad. Don't worry about them. Your goal is to be your very, very best. You know, there's an old saying, if you're climbing the ladder of life, climbing the ladder of success, climbing the ladder to get out of the crab bucket, keep one hand on that top of the next rung and put another hand down to pull somebody up. That's good. However, never take both hands off and reach down because they'll pull you back down. Always keep one here. And if they don't want to come with you, no, I don't want to go. Come on, I want you to go. I want you to succeed. I want to show you the way. Don't let them drag you back down. Now, I'm telling you all this from personal experience. Why? Because I don't know how many times I've climbed up there and I climb back down to help somebody else up. And before you know it, I'm pulled back down in the abyss. Then I got to fight and claw and scratch and work harder to get back up again. And you'd think I'd learn after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But sometimes I'm a little slow learner. But I'm getting better. You know, if I'd listen to everybody, I wouldn't do these podcasts. I wouldn't do the video blogs. I wouldn't be on stage speaking. I wouldn't be coaching. I wouldn't have written 3 books. Why? Because I got the same nonsense you're going to get too. Why are you doing it? You think you're better than we are? Oh, you must have got lucky. Ignore all that stuff. Do and be the best you can be and help those you can. But most importantly, you got to help yourself be the very, very best. Because if you're not your best, you can't serve. You can't help others become their best. Why? Because you got to get yourself in order. Now, I'm constantly working to better myself like everybody else. And I tell you that because, you know, and oftentimes I'll say this and somebody will comment, say, oh, that's selfish. I thought you were about helping others. And you're saying get yourself better first. Well, yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. So in other words, here, that's getting low, right? I'm thirsty. I need a drink. If there's nothing in there, then there's nothing for me to drink. So in other words, I can't pour my wisdom, knowledge, strength, empowerment into you if I'm flat, drained, and out of go-go juice. I've got to do my best to be my best. There's a Wednesday Warrior Confidence Wisdom pop right hook of reality for you. All right, moving on. Number 1, just to review, beware of every moment. Number 2, take initiative. Take initiative. And, we got a small little break here after the. Think about this. How to get more ice time. And the title is what it is, man. How to get more ice time by doing the little things that others aren't willing to do. Being respectful, working harder, having good communication and leadership skills. Parents, you want your kid to get more ice time? Pick up the program. Players, if you're listening, you want to get more ice time, tell your parents we got the program. Teams and organizations out there, if you want more respectful, harder working, better communicating leaders on your team, pick up the program. The masterclass video itself is only $9. Now to add on the workbook and empowering ebook, it's a few extra bucks. The whole program is, I think, $48. It's less than $50. The link is in the description box. Goes right to, the link that's in the description box takes you right to the sales page. But if you want to go to our website and learn more about it, it's warriorconfidence.com. Warriorconfidence.com. Check out the link in the description box. All right, moving on. Number 3. It's Warrior Confidence tip number 3 here. Trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. You got that tingling in your gut, right? Yeah. That tingling says, man, I know I'm meant for more. I'm supposed to do more. But I'm scared. And it's okay to be scared. It really is. Doing something, anything new is going to be scary at first. But if you want it bad enough, man, you're going to push yourself forward. You're going to do it. And how to get over that fear, and how you create that warrior confidence I'm always talking about. And that warrior confidence is not just confidence, man. You've got that warrior spirit. You've got that warrior attitude. You've got that warrior heart to stand out. So how to develop and really solidify that confidence is what we talked about to create your own luck, is that preparation. Prepare, prepare, prepare. The more prepared you are, the more confident you're going to be. Yeah. Now, is it still going to be scary? Yeah, it's going to be because it's something new. Anything new is going to be challenging. It's going to be scary. But do it. Do it. Seize that moment. Opportunistic October. And parents, I'm talking to the listener right now, talking to you right there. If you're watching the YouTube, you can see I'm pointing to you. But share this with your kiddos. Share this with your athletes. Share this with your hockey players. Why? Because you're probably saying somewhat of the same thing, if not the exact same thing, but hearing it from a different voice. Think about it. You'll tell your kids over and over and over again the same thing, and then a coach will say it, or somebody else will say exactly what you said, and your kid will say, "Oh," like they never heard it before. How often does that happen, right? Yeah. I mean, it's happened to me I don't know how many times, and I think, what in the world? But then I have parents come up and say, I've been saying that same thing to them for years, and here you say it and act like it's the first time they've ever heard it. Well, that's the power of listening to this, right? Yeah. Saying similar to the same message, and you can listen in the car. How great is that? And if you pick up the program, I talk about a lot of these things in the ebook. I've got the audible version of the ebook of how to get more ice time. And it's only about 15 minutes long. Quick little short trip to the rink. Listen to that on the way to or from. Give them that empowerment before they get to the rink. Good. All right, quick review. Number one, be aware of every moment. Be looking. Be looking for those opportunities. Number two, take initiative. Take initiative. Stand out from the crowd. Start preparing in advance. If you want something, set the goal. Do what you got to do to take those steps to get there. And number three, trust your instincts. Trust it. I want this. I'm going to work hard for it. I feel it. Now, feel free to share your goals with others, but don't allow anybody else to squash your goals, especially those that aren't willing to set goals for themselves, because they're going to laugh at you, make fun of you, they're going to write you off. Your instincts are telling you, man, I know I need to move forward, but yet, he told me not to. This other guy told me not to. Well, who the heck is he? What has he got going for himself? Here's another right hook of reality. And for our new listeners, that's my hashtag, right hook of reality. Use it anytime you want. Is if you wouldn't trade places with someone that you're listening to, then don't take their advice. If you wouldn't, in other words, if you're taking marriage advice from someone who can't stay in a relationship, I guess you can learn what not to do. But for them to tell you how to run your relationship, no. Now, I've had I don't know how many failures. So you might be saying, well, you said you've had all these failures. If you've learned from them and moving forward, that's good advice to save you some heartaches and some headaches. But if the current state of that person right now is not where you want to be, then they're probably not the person you need to be listening to. Well, that makes sense. That's probably the same person that's saying, oh, you got lucky. Or if I had this, then I would be lucky. No. Remember, get luck and it must be nice and all that nonsense out of your vocabulary. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And this whole month, we're talking about what? Opportunistic October. And we're going to look for those opportunities, prepare for those opportunities, and seize those opportunities. Woo! Good stuff. All right. Well, I always like to give a shout out to my wife's coffee truck company, Beachside Blend. It's a Beachside Blend, and the link is in the description box. Once again, it's on the YouTube description box, so you have to go there to see it. But click right on that link. If you're in Palmetto, Bradenton, Sarasota, Tampa area, it's where a coffee truck is at. And you can check out their schedule by going to their website and get yourself a delicious cup of coffee, a luscious Lotus drink, and a just tasty, succulent, good smoothie. They're fantastic. Anyway, yeah, check out the website there. Forgot what I was going to say, but we're moving on. All right. Well, thank you so very much for taking time out of your day. I'm so very grateful and thankful. Hopefully you found value in this. Hopefully you found some golden nugget that you can take away from this and share with your kiddos, with your spouse, with your team to help you be your best and help them kind of continuously search for those opportunities to excel, stand out from the crowd, be the leader they were born to be, and get the ice time that they want to get and those leadership roles and opportunities as well. Thank you so very much for listening. I'm truly grateful. Without you, I'm just talking to a camera, but the fact that I get the likes, the loves, the feedback from all of you, and I can't wait to get the the live streams for the Q&As, get those dates set up, and we can, be on here chatting back and forth. That'll be a great time as well. Once again, if you found value, share it with someone else. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, ring the bell on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, those 5-star reviews, they go a long, long way in helping getting our message out to a bigger audience because it helps us rate higher in the search engines. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best. and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Can't wait to read your comments. Can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Warrior Confidence Unleashed podcast. I am truly grateful for your time. If you found value in this message, please kindly share it with someone else who could also benefit from it, especially teenagers and adult athletes and leaders who are serious about getting noticed, getting more playing time, and leadership roles. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share your comments with us. And we truly appreciate your 5-star reviews, as that helps spread the message even further. Stay connected with us throughout the week on all social media platforms at Real Rich Grogan. And visit our website at warriorconfidence.com for access to all our programs and books. The links are in the description box. Thank you again for your time, and I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day. God bless. Parents, are you frustrated seeing your superstar sit on the bench, getting overlooked and passed over for ice time and leadership roles? I personally know that heartbreaking pain. Well, that frustration ends today. Introducing our How to Get More Ice Time program, the amazing one-of-a-kind program for youth and teenage hockey players that helps them get what they want most, more playing time and more opportunities. And today, exclusive offer, we're selling this thing for only $9. $9. It's a no-brainer. But you got to act now, because this offer won't last. And if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So go to warriorconfidence.com. That's warriorconfidence.com, or simply click on the link in the description box. Buy the program today and help your child get what they want most, more ice time. I want to mention this amazing nutritional company that I've partnered with called Live Pure. And I've been sampling their products for the past 12 months, and I feel 100% confident giving Live Pure my full endorsement. That's why I'm sharing it with you now. My personal nutrition, health, wellness, weight loss, and muscle tone have all improved dramatically. I mean, all the products are third-party lab tested, 100% clean, pure, and natural. They're a Christian-based company with over 17 years of improving lives. So check out the link in the description box to learn more and to get preferred partner pricing.